It's now Kudlow host Larry Kudlow. Larry, all right, I want to jump right off what that manufacturer said. He talked about shipping things around the country. That's an oil and gas question. Your old boss talked about that last night. Let's listen to it.
We were doing energy, taking our liquid gold out of the ground at a rate that's never been seen before, and it was going up. We were going to be using that liquid gold to sell to Europe instead of the pipeline from Russia, which I exposed and I stopped. You know, I stopped that line. Then they say I was nice to Russia. There was nobody that was nice. I was not nice to Russia. I stopped that pipeline. We would have been selling oil and gas to Europe, to Asia, all over the world. We would have been paying off debt. That debt would be way down right now because we have more. What people don't know, we have more liquid gold than any other country in the world by far.
Liquid gold, Larry, what do you think?
That was a great riff, you know, because he's just going right at it. He said the first things he would do if elected was close the border and start drill. Go to Alaska, open up Anwar, go for the liquid gold. And look, I was one of the people that was selling natural gas and LNG to Europe. Every time a European leader would come to visit Trump and we'd have a cabinet room lunch, and Trump would look at me and I'd go into my riff about how we can sell LNG, you know? So I never got any commissions for it, Brian.
That's not fair, Larry.
But the fact is, Trump is the growth candidate. Trump is the only candidate who talks like that. Besides the liquid gold, he talked about cutting taxes and overturning regulations. This is good. No one else does this. He started it back at that CNN town hall debate, remember? Mm-hmm. And she asked him, how are you going to solve high costs? And he says, drill, baby, drill. And the crowd went wild. It's up in New Hampshire, as I recall. And then he said, and we're going to cut taxes, and we're going to roll back regulations, and we're going to grow the economy. That's been his message for a year. And that's, I think, the principal reason why he has such a lead in the polls. No other candidate talks about growth. And we've had a stagnant economy with inflation. Real wages are falling. And people want that kind of leadership. I mean, it's just terrific stuff.
So he did it once before. We've seen him do it. He's talking about saying he'll reverse everything and he will do it again. But for that, he's being called a day one dictator by Biden.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's dictating closing the border. That's a win. He's dictating opening up Anwar so we can have cheaper fuel. That's a win. I hope he dictates that he'll roll back every single Biden regulation on day one. That's a win. The dictatorship thing is just stupid. It's just plain stupid. Biden's getting very desperate about this. It's interesting.
That's a good point.
It's interesting to me that in these national polls head-to-head with Biden, Trump is now gaining, you know, it was 2 points, then 5 points. Some of these polls, he's 7 points. Mm-hmm. If you go back, somebody wrote this up. In 2016 and 2020, Trump never had leads like that. Most of the time, Trump ran, even in 2016. So it's just interesting how Bidenomics, which is a failure, has now been taken out of his speeches because every leading Democrat in the country is going crazy. Don't do it, because it's not working. I don't know what's he going to run on. Maybe he's going to take up tennis and have good tennis strokes. But the fact of the matter is, the growth guy is Trump. And growth is it's a winning message. Growth and peace. Strength and peace. That's what the messages are going to be. He's going to be very tough to beat. I mean that sincerely. I know I worked for him. I know I'm a little biased here. I get that. But I'm watching him. See, in 2020, he did not have a great growth message as the incumbent. He got caught up in all kinds of grievances, and COVID was very difficult. 2016, he had a growth message, and he won those industrial states with it. This time around in 24, he is developing a tremendous, effective growth message, and I think he will do very well in those industrial swing states.
We always love your perspective because we know you have a special relationship with the former president. So
I know.
We like hearing that.
But if he weren't doing growth, I mean, I've been talking to him. We were out there. I just saw him. I was in Florida a week or two ago. He doesn't always do it. But he is doing it. And I've got my pal Kellyanne Conway coming on the show. She was the campaign manager in 2016. And we're going to talk about what a good message he has. Messaging is crucial in politics.
Yeah, of course.
Before we have to let you go, I just want to get your thoughts about Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
We heard just a little while ago he's resigning.
Yeah, well, I think we all knew that. I just want to say Kevin McCarthy has been a terrific public servant. I thought he was a very good speaker. I'm sorry what happened. I think the whole thing was a mess. McCarthy is a smart guy, an energetic guy, a good conservative, and we will hear from him again in some way, shape, or form.
All right. Larry Kudlow, thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
catch you today.